Okay, so for whatever reason, you guys really liked my last video. So we're running it back and ranking every single personal American Express credit card. According to American Express's own website, they have a total of 17 different personal cards. A lot less than Chase does. And instead of just going off the top of my head like my last video, we're going to be going a lot more in depth in this one. Before we start, I just want to show you the tier list. You have God tier, A, B, C, D, and garbage. Alright, let's start with the American Express Everyday Preferred Card. So for those of you out there that don't know about this card, it's a $95 annual fee card that earns you 3x back on groceries for up to $6,000 every single year, plus 2x back on gas and then 1x back on everything else. Other than that, there's not really anything else that's really special about the card. It does earn membership reward points as opposed to the normal cashback credit card does, but in terms of what the other credit cards that American Express does offer, it's a pretty lackluster card. Plus it has a random $95 annual fee, which I don't think realistically speaking to anyone would be applying for this card. It doesn't even have no foreign transaction fees as a perk, and because of that, we're going to be putting it as a garbage tier credit card. Next is the Delta SkyMiles Blue American Express card. This card earns you 2x back on dining within the United States, 2x back on Delta purchases, and then 1x back on everything else. In my opinion, this is a pretty bad card. In terms of other co-branded credit cards on the list, this card doesn't really give you anything. The one perk it does have that it is a no annual fee card, so if you're not satisfied with saving with like the Delta Platinum or the Gold, there's always a downgrade path for you. Other than that, there's not really any reason to get this card. We're gonna put this card, we're going to put it as a D tier credit card. It has downgrade path potential, but that's the only thing that it has going for it. Next, it's the American Express Everyday credit card. This one is a no annual fee card as opposed to the preferred version that we just talked about that has a $95 annual fee. Immediately, this at least bumps it up to a C tier credit card in my opinion. My philosophy is that if you're at least getting the annual fee worth of value, it's going to be at least a D tier or above credit card. In terms of earning potential, however, it earns you 2x back on groceries for up to $6,000 every single year, and that's basically it. It does have a 1x on everything else, but that's something that 99% of credit cards do offer you, so it's not really something enticing here. This card is a low D tier credit card, borderline garbage credit card, and let me just adjust it a little bit. This card is a D tier credit card or a borderline garbage credit card in my opinion. The next card we're going to talk about is the American Express Green Card. This card is a $150 annual fee card that earns you 3x back on travel, which includes things like flights, hotels, vacation rentals, and more. And it also earns 3x back on transit, which includes things like trains and buses, 3x back on restaurants, and then 1x back on everything else. How is the Green Card more of a travel credit card than the American Express Platinum card is? I don't know. But in terms of everything else, it is pretty lackluster. You also get a $100 Lounge Buddy credit, which sounds pretty cool on paper, but when you really dive into what Lounge Buddy is, it essentially is a day pass for you and your plus one. Most lounges cost anywhere between $50 to $75 to get into. Additionally, you also get the $189 Clear Plus credit, which means that you get at least $150 worth of value from the card if you were to get the Clear membership. But after personally sitting in front of a Clear membership kiosk at my local airport and observing how it works, I wouldn't personally recommend it, but that is my own experience. Everyone that had it was extremely confused as to how it worked, and let me tell you this, it only takes about 3 minutes to get through TSA pre-check at my local airport, so I really don't understand why you would get the hassle of getting Clear membership, but again, that's my own opinion, and for this reason, I'm going to give it a 1 out of 10, do not recommend. It also has decent protection perks because it's a travel credit card, so in terms of that, we're going to be putting this card probably as a B tier credit card for now. Next is the Hilton Aspire credit card. This is the Hilton and American Express's flagship co-branded credit card. With a $450 annual fee, it earns 14x back at Hilton hotels, 7x on select travel, meaning flights and car rentals, 7x on dining, and then 3x on everything else. Additionally, you have a $250 Hilton resort credit, as well as a $250 airline fee credit, plus a $100 Hilton on property credit that totals up at least $600 worth of value. And additionally, you also get complimentary diamond status, which is great, priority pass select, which allows access to over 1,200 global airport lounges, as well as an annual free night reward voucher every single year. Additionally, this card has a bunch of protection perks as well as no foreign transaction fees. People within the credit card community love this card, and there's a lot of good reason for it. While the annual fee is a little hard to digest, there's enough benefits for this card to make it worth it. Also, the diamond status, being the highest status you can get with Hilton, means there's more of a chance for room upgrades as well. And for most, the free annual night voucher is the main reason why they get this card. Unlike other hotel chains like Hyatt or Marriott, Hilton doesn't limit you in this voucher in any way. You can book at any of their properties, well, almost. There is a list of hotels that are excluded from this voucher, so you definitely want to double check to make sure that your hotel isn't on that list before redeeming. But aside from these excluded hotels, having this benefit can claw back the annual fee alone. There's also another caveat though. This voucher does expire after a year, so if you're planning vacations, you definitely want to keep that in mind as well. With that all being said, since the Aspire card is one of the best hotel credit cards in the credit card world today, I'm going to be putting it as our first God tier credit card. Let's move on. Next, we're going to be talking about the Delta SkyMiles Reserve card. This is Delta and American Express's flagship co-branded credit card with an annual fee of $550. You might remember this card as the card that had the exclusive Boeing airplane metal design, where for each of those limited time cards, a piece of a Boeing 747 was put within each card. This card earns you 3x back on Delta purchases and then 1x on everything else. Other benefits include free first checked bag, complimentary upgrades, and Delta Sky Club lounge access. Additionally, you also get an annual companion certificate, which is similar to how Southwest does it, where you get a buy one get one free ticket, but it's only reserved for first class, Delta Comfort, and main class round trip domestic flight, which in my opinion is an okay perk, I guess. You also do get TSA pre-check / global entry credit as well. Looking at this, I'm not gonna lie here, I mentioned this in my other video, but co-branded airline credit cards are super duper lackluster. They don't really ever offer too much. Even more so with the Delta Reserve card. Comparing it to the United Club card, even that one gave you 2 free checked bags. The Reserve only gives 1, which is kind of a skimpy move on them. The annual companion pass does look cool on paper, but when you really think about it, you have a buy one get one free ticket for domestic flights only, which is a little confusing, and also it has to be main cabin and up, meaning more money that you have to spend. And a 3x on Delta purchases? Come on, Delta. You can do better than that. I'm going to be laying my thoughts out here. Imagine you're going on vacation, you have been saving up for a while, and you need to book a flight and a hotel. At most, even if you're flying across the world, you're only really going to be spending anywhere between 1 to 16 hours on a plane. In comparison, depending on how long you're staying at a different place for vacationing, you'll be spending double, triple, whatever X amount of time in a hotel. I don't recommend co-branded airline credit cards. You're way better off getting a travel credit card like the Platinum card. We're going to be putting the Reserve as a C tier credit card. Not good, not bad, but I would say it's just about average. Next is the Hilton Honors Surpass card. This is Hilton's mid-tier hotel credit card. It's a $95 annual fee card that earns you 12x back on hotels, 6x on dining, 6x on groceries, 6x on gas, and then 3x on everything else. With this card, you get complimentary Hilton Gold status, free night reward voucher after spending $15,000 within the calendar year, which is great if you can do that. Priority Pass Select limited to 10 visits only, and no foreign transaction fees. Right off the bat, in terms of being able to claw back the annual fee, it can't. There's nothing really concrete that allows you to do so. You do also get an assortment of statuses, but that's really contingent on how much you travel. The only reason why I'd ever get the Surpass is probably to farm the welcome bonus offer whenever it has an elevated sign-up bonus offer, but then I'd probably upgrade or downgrade the card into a much more sought after Aspire card or a no annual fee Hilton Honors card, and because of that reason, I'm going to be putting the Hilton Honors Surpass card as a D tier credit card. Alright, next is the Hilton Honors card. This is a no annual fee card, which means it's already at least a D tier or above card. It also means that Hilton co-branded credit cards have a downgrade path for the cards that do have annual fees, so that's always a plus. You earn 7x back on hotels, 5x back on dining, 5x on groceries, 5x on gas, and then 3x on everything else. You do also get free Hilton Honors Silver status, which is great, and no foreign transaction fees. Other than that, this card doesn't really do anything else. I'd probably only ever get this card if I've downgraded from the Aspire card or to farm the welcome bonus offer, but since it's a no annual fee, we're going to put it as a C tier credit card. Next is the Marriott Bonvoy Bountiful. This is Marriott and American Express's flagship co-branded credit card. It's a $650 annual fee card, which by comparison is ranked second highest in terms of annual fees, being only limited to $695 of the annual fee for the American Express Platinum card. It earns 6x on hotels, 3x on dining, 3x on flights, and then 2x on everything else. With the card, you do get a $300 dining credit, which I denounce because it's a $25 a month statement credit, so it's like a coupon book, which I really don't like. A free night award for Marriott hotels up to 85,000 Marriott points can definitely vary in terms of value. Marriott Bonvoy Platinum Elite status, which is their top tier status, 25 elite night credits, which helps towards a choice benefit, which includes things like upgrades, discounts, and additional free night vouchers, and priority pass select. It also has a bunch of protection perks, which is great as well. When comparing this card to a similar card like the Hilton Aspire, for example, I want to say that Aspire is a clear-cut winner, at least on paper. But if you're someone who loves Marriott properties, the Brilliant card is probably going to be your best bet in terms of Marriott co-branded credit cards. I can also say that Marriott and MGM just had signed an agreement to work together, so that's also a benefit to have if you're someone who travels to, say, Las Vegas a lot. The annual fee on the card is steep, but there's a bunch of credits and perks to the card where I can argue that you can claw back the annual fee, and because of that, I'm going to make a bold choice and rank the Brilliant card as an A-tier credit card. It's not as good as the Aspire in my opinion, but it's still a great credit card to have if you're someone who loves Marriott hotels. Next is the Marriott Bonvoy Bevy. Garbage. This card is absolute garbage. When it came out with the other card, I think it was called the Bountiful with Chase, it really didn't make sense. It's a garbage credit card. There's really not any point to talk about this card other than that. Next is the Cash Magnet card. This is a great looking card in my opinion. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really know what this card was until I opened its webpage. It's a balance transfer card from American Express that earns you 1.5% back on all of your purchases. The current welcome bonus offer is 0% intro APR for up to 15 months. Aside from that, it looks like a pretty standard balance transfer card. I do like it that it gives 1.5% back, which means it's on par with someone like the Freedom Unlimited or the Freedom Rise card from Chase. Cough, Chase, you really need to do better with the catch-all credit card category, but in turn, I do like it that it gives 1.5% back, so because of that, I'm going to give it a C tier rating. Next is the Delta Platinum card. This card is a $250 annual fee card that earns you 3x back on Delta, 3x on hotels, 2x on dining, 2x on groceries, and then 1x on everything else. Why doesn't the Reserve have this many earnings potentials? I don't understand. This card also offers Delta Companion Certificate, but it's only reserved for domestic main cabin round-trip flights. A status boost, Delta Sky Club access at a discount, it's $50 per person, free first check bag, free credit for global entry, and TSA pre-check. And that's about it. So this card right off the bat, lower annual fee and a lot more digestible in my opinion. Free first check bag is always a plus. Reserve also has the same perk, but at double the annual fee. Reserve is a garbage credit card in my opinion. The Delta Platinum, a decent card, but I'm gonna put it as a B tier credit card for now. Next, it's the Delta Gold card. It's a $0 intro annual fee card, but then after the first year, it becomes a $99 annual fee card. Not looking good. It earns 2x back on dining, 2x on groceries, 2x on Delta purchases, and then 1x on everything else. You also get free first check bag, $100 in Delta flight credit, only after spending $10,000 within a calendar year. Not something that I can do, so in my opinion, that's a bad perk to have. I'm going to put the Delta Gold card as a C tier credit card, and we're going to be moving on with the Blue Cash EverDay card. I personally like this card a lot. I like the design of it. It's a clear, nice blue looking card. It's a no annual fee cashback credit card that earns you 3x back on grocery stores, online retail, and gas. You also get $84 in Disney bundle credit, which is always great, and also $180 in Home Chef credit. The only thing I dislike about the card is that it is a cashback credit card instead of a points back credit card, but aside from that, you do have the Disney Plus and or Home Chef credit, which means you're getting anywhere between $84 to $260 worth of free value for a no annual fee card, which is unheard of. Because of that, I'm going to be putting it as a B tier, and the only reason that it's limited to a B tier is because it's a cashback credit card. If you're on team cashback, definitely would move it to an A tier slot or even a God tier slot, but in terms of me and my team's point background, I would say it's only a B tier credit card. Next up is the Blue Cash Preferred. This is a $0 intro annual fee, but after the first year, it becomes a $95 annual fee card. With this card, you earn 6% back on groceries and streaming, 3% back on transit and gas, and then 1% back on everything else. With the Preferred, you also get a $84 Disney bundle credit, plus a $120 Equinox credit that's split up as $10 every single month. So compared to the Blue Cash EverDay, it's obviously slightly worse. It's a $95 annual fee card, but it does earn double at grocery stores, but it is also limited to $6,000 every single year. Meaning if you're capping it out at this category with the preferred card, you only earn a max of $360 every single year versus the EverDay at $180. So you do need to spend a lot to make this card worth it. On the other hand, there's no credit card out there in the credit card world that earns this much back in grocery card spends. The credits aren't as good as the EverDay card as well, so in this case, I'm going to be putting the Blue Cash Preferred card as also a B tier credit card. It's a cashback card, which for me, I'm team points, so this is essentially useless. It's also an annual fee card and less benefits than an EverDay card, but has better earnings potential than it. Next, we're going to be going over to one of American Express's flagship cards and talk about the Gold card. This card is a $250 annual fee card that earns you 4x back on restaurants and groceries, 3x back on flights, and then 1x back on everything else. It has a $120 dining credit that's split evenly every single month, and a $120 Uber credit that is also split evenly every single month. You also get no foreign transaction fees, which for me is a little bit confusing, and I'll explain why I'm confused in a little bit. You also get the hotel collection plus $100 experience credit. Okay, so the reason why I'm a little confused by the Gold card is that I don't see it as a travel credit card. It's a great membership points earner with the 4x back on dining and groceries, but they're limited to US places only. So tacking on the no foreign transaction fees is a little confusing for me because you'd never pull this card outside of the United States. The statement credits also come as a hit or miss for me because they come as $10 coupons that you have to use every single month or it expires. The hotel collection is also like a Kirkland brand of the fine hotel and resorts collection that you get with the Platinum card, but there are still some great properties in there, but not as much. Overall, I do think that the Gold card is a great earner's credit card, but since there's a lot of limitations to it, I'm going to be putting the Gold card as a B tier credit card. That's right. I don't really like it that much. The earnings potential outside of the US is just little to none, and for someone who's planning to travel outside of the United States a lot, that's just something I can't have. Alright, and finally, the one that you all have been waiting for. We're going to be talking about the American Express Platinum card. This is a garbage credit card. I'm joking. I actually have a love-hate relationship with the Platinum card. On one hand, this card gives me so many benefits it makes my head spin. Stan, a YouTube friend of mine, made a great video that shares a lot of my sentiments about this card if you want to go check it out. But the Platinum card is American Express's flagship card that is a $695 annual fee card. It also gives $1,500 worth of statement credit value that I won't list all of them out in this video, but some of them include a $200 hotel credit, a $240 digital entertainment credit, and a $100 Saks Fifth Avenue credit. You also get access to American Express's Centurion Lounge Network, which is god tier, best lounge network amongst any credit card lender. You also get access to the Priority Pass, as well as gold tier status for Hilton and Marriott properties. You also get access to American Express's fine hotel and resorts collection, which comes with a ton of amazing perks as well as car rental statuses with Avis, Hertz, and National. American Express's transfer partner list is also extremely competitive as well. In terms of earnings potential, it earns 5x back on flights, 5x on hotels, and then 1x back on everything else, which is the only lackluster thing I have to say about the card. I mean, American Express also agrees with that sentiment, as it doesn't even bother to put it as the first thing you see when you look up this card. While for every single other credit card American Express has to offer, the earnings categories are the first thing that you see. Coincidence? I think not. Obviously, the Platinum card is a god tier credit card. It's one of the best premium travel credit cards that the credit card world has to offer. There's a ton of benefits that I definitely didn't even list out in this video, but you'll definitely want to take a look at them. Anyways, that just about wraps up this video. What are your opinions about my tier list? Do you agree with it? Do you disagree with it? Make sure to leave a comment down in the comment section down below so that we can have a discussion. Anyways, thank you for watching as always. Stay safe out there, everybody. Peace. Those of you out there that are new to the channel, hi, my name is Eric. I generally talk about everything credit card related, but more recently I've been making videos on broader financial topics such as these videos right here. The main goal for this channel is to provide informational and meaningful financial related content that everybody everywhere can enjoy. So again, if you'd like to support that dream, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And with that, thank you for watching as always. Until next time, everybody, stay safe out there. Peace.